There's a hotel on the edge of town. It doesn't show up on Google Maps, has no website, and only those who really need a place to stay seem to stumble upon it. Its nameplate is faded, only a glimmer of gold left in the darkened, chipped paint, reading, St. Augustine. A twisted neon sign buzzes faintly, casting a flickering glow across the parking lot. I arrived there by accident, or maybe it was fate. I'd been driving cross-country to clear my mind, on no particular schedule, and when night fell, so did the rain. It came down in a torrent, obscuring everything, blurring the road until my headlights were barely making a dent in the darkness. I had no choice but to find a place to stay. At first glance, St. August looked harmless, albeit run down, but it was only a few hours until dawn. Besides, I was dead tired, and my soaked clothes and empty stomach made it impossible to think straight. So, I pulled in, hoping to grab a few hours of sleep before moving on. The lobby was cold, lit by dim yellow lights that gave it a sickly hue. The bell at the front desk didn't work, but after a few minutes, a young woman with pale skin and vacant eyes appeared from a back room. Her name tag said Claire, but she didn't offer any other words as she slid a pen across the counter for me to sign in. She looked right through me, as if she didn't really see me at all. I took the key she handed over, noticing it was one of those old-fashioned, heavy brass ones attached to a faded leather keychain. Room 205. I felt a strange chill as I headed up the carpeted stairs, the walls closing in with each step. It smelled like mildew and something else, something sharp and metallic. When I reached my room, I noticed the door had 2 locks on the outside, as if it was meant to keep someone in. The air inside was stale, thick, as if no one had been there for years. Everything was a shade of beige or brown, aged by time, and the room's only window was covered by thick drapes that seemed more decorative than functional. I ignored the discomfort settling in my stomach, too tired to care. After locking the door, I laid down on the bed and closed my eyes, but sleep didn't come. Instead, I lay there listening. I could hear faint sounds from the rooms next to mine. Whispers, footsteps, the creak of floorboards. Every so often, I thought I heard a scratching sound, like something moving just outside my door. But whenever I opened my eyes, it stopped, leaving me with only the silence and my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. Then, I heard a knock. It was soft, almost hesitant, like someone trying not to wake the entire floor. I ignored it, hoping they'd go away, but the knock came again, this time louder, more insistent. I got up, my pulse quickening, and opened the door, expecting to see Claire from the front desk, maybe some guest who'd lost their way. But the hall was empty, stretching out in both directions under flickering lights. I was about to close the door when I noticed something odd. The carpet directly in front of my room was damp, almost sticky. In the dim light, I saw what looked like muddy footprints leading away from my door, down the hall, to the stairwell. The next night, the scratching started again, but this time, it was closer, just behind the door. I sat on the bed, staring, waiting for whatever it was to make its move. Hours passed, the scratching never letting up, until dawn started to break. With the first hint of light, it stopped, leaving nothing but the echo of silence and the hairs on the back of my neck standing on end. I decided to leave. I packed my bag in record time and headed for the exit, eager to put St. August behind me. But as I reached the lobby, I found Claire waiting at the front desk. She was looking right at me for the first time since I arrived, her eyes wide and pleading. "Don't go out there," she whispered. "Once you leave, you can't come back." Ignoring her, I opened the door and walked outside. But as soon as I stepped into the parking lot, the air turned cold, the entire hotel behind me disappearing in the fog. I ran to my car, only to find my keys missing, my tires flat, and all around me, silence. That's when I felt it, eyes watching me from the mist, the whisper of 1,000 voices calling me back. They had let me leave, but I had left something behind, and I knew, without a doubt, that I would return. Because this place never lets you go. Not really.